Welcome back to Talladega. Here are the drivers involved in the crash, and a couple of them have gone to the garage area as a result of the damage sustained. A lot of work on pit road, and while we're under caution, time for our DirecTV head-to-head pit whip. We'll start with Matt.
Mike, number one seed from the turn 3 bracket, Jimmy Johnson up against this week Juan Pablo Montoya. Montoya, he advanced from last week by finishing 4 spots ahead of Brian Vickers. Johnson has a win here. JPM has a pole. Johnson, pretty much they migrated toward the setup of their teammate Jeff Gordon. They weren't as sporty as they normally were here. The car just wouldn't suck up. Now it's a very good mount. Meanwhile, the 42 of Montoya, he's been battling a tight condition primarily the entire race. Krista?
The Turn 1 region is stacked. We've been documenting the Battle of the Busch Brothers. It's going on here today. Kurt is a number 1 seed, but he has never won a plate race. Kyle, a number 4 seed, won this race in 2008. On that last stop, Kyle took fuel only and made a wedge adjustment. Who will win this battle? And more importantly, will it make things awkward at Thanksgiving? Steve?
Well, Krista, a matchup between Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards. Hamlin, the most recent winner, hasn't had a lot of good luck here. In fact, he has 6 finishes worse than 21st in 2 of his last 3 races, 38th and 39. He has led laps here, ironically, in every event he's been in. Carl Edwards, on the other hand, 11 Talladega starts, just 1 top 5 finish. He hasn't had a top 10 since 2006. Now, the 99 car has been concerned about a vibration. They don't know why. They've tightened every bolt on that car since Friday, but they cannot figure it out. And also, the 99 missed his pit stall 1 time here today. Dick?
Interesting matchup between young Joey Logano and Mark Martin. They started nose to tail with Mark in the 10th position and Logano in the 12th. That is where the similarities end. Logano, the youngest driver in today's race, age 19. Martin, the oldest driver at age 51. For Logano last year, this was his best track, finishing 3rd and 9th in Cup competition and 3rd in the Nationwide Series. He has run in the top 20 all day long. Mark Martin doesn't like this place at all. He skipped racing here 2 years in order to avoid it. He just did not have the best of fuel mileage today. A long stop just a little while ago to work on the nose tape sent him all the way back to 37th.
87 laps complete. Bobby Labonte's crew over the wall too soon, a penalty there, and also one for the 38 of Kevin Conway. To check on the status of your DirecTV head-to-head bracket, visit directv.com/NASCAR. Travis Kvapil became the 24th different leader of this race under caution. We've had 53 lead changes. The restrictor plate record set here October of 2008 is 64. The all-time NASCAR record for lead changes set here in May of 1984 at 75. And I'd say that's in jeopardy today.
That sure looks that way. Seen some exciting racing so far.
Jimmy Johnson, David Rudiman for the lead. Green flag. Johnson breaks out just a little bit.
Rudiman's got to feel a little bit like the odd man there. You got the Gordon down underneath him pushing him. Johnson in 48 car there, and Dale Jr. 88, teammates to the 24. Looks like that 00 Alabama car.
With the wave around and the free pass to Keselowski, there are 33 cars on the lead lap.
It's getting a pretty nice shove here, Larry.
Getting a real good shove from that 24 car of Jeff Gordon.
David Rudiman grew up in Florida. His dad, Buzzy, a dirt track Hall of Fame modified racer, and still competes. Buzzy's sponsor these days, well, that would be David.
That's right.
The engines and the tires and helps build the cars.
My favorite thing that David told his dad, Buzzy, he and Brian Patty were building Buzzy a new modified, and Buzzy was getting a little impatient. He said, "Dad, we build fast cars. We don't build cars fast."
Well, he better enjoy this lead while he can, because those 2 guys on the high side, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 88, Jimmy Johnson, the 48, they are a coming.
Jimmy Johnson looks to tuck in
still pushing
behind Jeff Gordon in front of Tony Stewart. And we picked up some interesting conversation during the caution flag from Johnson's team about who to draft with.
There's nobody, and I mean nobody, that can stay up there consistently. You know, the 11 car, he's fast, he falls back. The 18, he falls back. The 88, all of them. There's nobody that has stayed up there consistently. Now, one thing I will say is the 55, you know, once again, he's a pretty good drafter. He does a good job of getting locked onto people. You might want to keep that in mind towards the end of the race.
Yeah, that 00, it's amazing how fast he can push a car. I guess I've had the 18 on me, but that 00 has probably been the best I felt so far.
Doing a great job, buddy. Give those belts a tug. Make sure you're getting something to drink, man.
Now that was recorded during the previous caution before Michael Waltrip was just involved in this most recent incident. I'm surprised the 31 wasn't mentioned because Jeff Burton has pushed several cars, including himself up front. And he's one of the drivers who's led a lot of laps here today.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be able to use the 55 for any drafting help today, Dick.
No, indeed they're not. But Michael Waltrip, you had a terrific run there today, leading some laps for a part-time guy. Did you have fun out there?
I had a blast. And you know, Dick, I'm retired, so I can think what I want. And honestly, one time I looked up and it was me and Dale Jr. in the front, and I thought, this feels great. I hope the fans were enjoying it, and the car was fast. Kyle just messed up. He ran into a guy and crashed him, and you know, when you set yourself to the standards as he does, you know, he's really good and he'll tell you about it, whether it's a tear off or a caution flag. When you set yourself to those standards and then you make a mistake like that in front of the field, that's kind of disappointing.
Nice job today for you behind the wheel.
Kyle Busch ran into Johnny Sauter to cause that crash. Sauter's car's in the garage. Johnny was checked at the care center and released. He is okay.
Oh, by the way, Michael will not see Kyle next weekend when we get to Richmond because Michael won't be racing.
You know, a couple of cars, as we're down now under 100 laps to go, which is still a long ways, they were elected to lay at the back of the pack, but I'm seeing them up in the thick of things now. One of them is that bright green car in the middle, Mark Martin in the 5. The other is Greg Biffle in the 16 car, right up there in the middle of this group now.
Now this pack is a lot bigger than it was just before the caution flag because the drifters, the fellows who drifted back out of the lead draft, there's only 7 of them now, so everyone else is up here in the lead draft.
And where did the tandem of the 24 and the 00 go?
Back to 10th and 17th.
So you lead for a while and then you fall back and see how long it takes you to get back to the lead.
Now we're seeing Greg Biffle in the 16 car. He's pushing Casey Kane in that 9. Remember, the first caution, the 9 team led by Kenny Francis, they changed the spark plug and they're going to lead this race now.
Casey Kane becomes the 25th different leader of the Aaron's 499. 95 laps to go. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Toyota.
96 laps complete. It's just as exciting as the first 5, the last 5. Look at Logano on the bottom trying to help Regan Smith up toward the front. Casey Kane continues to lead from Greg Biffle. And as this race winds down, it becomes a question of strategy, how to position yourself in the right place at the right time and with the right tools to get to victory lane. Let's hear first from Jeff Gordon and Steve Letarte.
Even if we give up track position, I mean, I don't think it's going to matter. That I think you're going to want your car to drive pretty good with these guys pushing you hard.
Yeah, 10-4. 10-4. Yeah, my plan is going to be anytime we have a yellow to put your 4 on it later in the race. Under green, I only put rights on it just because if we have any sort of problem or mistake, we're still going to be in the pack.
I like that plan. That plan is perfect. That's all I'm saying is that if we get a caution at the right time, you know, and we have an opportunity to take 4, even if we give up track position, let's do it.
Now, you might think this question's ridiculous, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What do you think about the 4 tires versus no tires versus 2 tires as the race goes on?
Tires don't mean nothing to me.
Short and simple.
Well,